Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. And that's what we are here to talk about today. Your journey to self-betterment. And my journey to self-betterment as well. You see, there was a subscriber a few days ago that mentioned he watched one of my older videos, titled, "You Are Not a Loser," and it impacted them in a positive way. I will leave a link for that video in the description box below so you too can watch it. And possibly you might find something helpful there in that video. But with that being said, I thought it was about time to make a part 2 of this video. You are not a loser. Why? Because so much has gone on since then. And more things are happening in the world that are subjecting more and more people to narcissistic abuse. And their dignity and self-love is being chipped away by society and societal narcissism. Along with quite possibly the family they were born into. That is, if they were on top of what is going on in society. They were too born into a home full of narcissists. Either way, more and more people are feeling sad, lonely and unfulfilled in life. You see, God, the Most High, our Heavenly Father, He made us all carefully and specifically. That's why at odd certain times in our lives, we might get what we know as a calling. A calling to serve and or to do something that one would consider to be the Lord's work. And if everyone were able to jump in and do what they were supposed to do without the devil stepping in their way, how well would the devil Satan himself be able to rule over this world? And how much of a hold would societal narcissists be able to control things as well? Or how well would your narcissist boss be able to emotionally abuse you and make you feel scared you are going to lose your job and your ability to pay your bills? You see, in my first video on this topic, I talked about fear. You see, we all get afraid sometimes. And sometimes fear or things such as being afraid of heights is normal and healthy. Because it will keep you away from things that are truly dangerous and that don't serve a purpose for what you are here to do on this earth. That is, unless your profession requires you to be somewhat comfortable being high up. Such as someone that repairs power lines and the like. But I think you get what I'm saying. Some fear keeps us rational and knows there are certain things we shouldn't do. However, it's the narcissist's job to instill in us and push this fear even further. So we feel that everything we try will not only be met with a failure, but something negative will happen as a result. And that negative we will experience will make our lives even harder than it is today. And the more this happens, guess what happens? Our genius, our talents and our dreams fade into nothingness. And we become one big mass of sadness and pain. You see, narcissists and those that are like them really believe and feel they are the true losers. That's right. That's how they feel about themselves. That's why they have to project out to the rest of the world that they aren't a loser. And that's why when they see someone about ready to win, they throw a stick in their path for them to trip and stumble over. Have you ever noticed? Right when you were about ready to win, things went haywire. Now maybe things went haywire for some random reason. Maybe. But it seems that there is always something or some force sabotaging our dreams and sabotaging us. And they, whoever they happen to be, after a while, they no longer need to be around and in our lives for such failures to happen. Because we are so used to losing. We are so used to failing that we will start to sabotage ourselves out of trying again. You see, those that have achieved anything great, they will tell you they failed thousands of times. thousands of times. And they were at the end of their rope when they tried again and a door finally opened for them. The truth of the matter is most of us. Not all of us. But most of us. Especially where we came from in life. We will have to fail our way into success. And this appears to be the common theme for most success stories. What makes us think we are any different? You see, those of us that grew up in terrible homes. Homes full of terrible treatment by those that were supposed to care for us. Our mother and or our father. And for some it was both. And as a result we don't have really anyone we can call on for help. Someone we can stay with while we get ourselves together. Someone where we can save up and invest our savings in this or that. The narcissist or narcissists that raised us felt alone because they were empty inside. So they made darn sure we were alone as well, and we too felt empty inside too. But with all of that being said, life is still moving forward. Life is still moving forward. Either we let what the narcissist or narcissists say define what happens to us and our lives. Or we stand up and work hard and do our best to beat the odds and break the cycles of having nothing and feeling like we are nothing. Maybe you are stuck at a job you can't stand. You have a terrible boss. And all of your bosses you've had have been just as bad. And you've always wanted to work for yourself. Now, no one is saying just up and quit your job. But you might want to do something every single day that can help you get closer and closer to the goal of working for yourself. But please, you better believe, narcissists don't want that and Satan doesn't want that. Why? Because you will be full of joy and you will possibly have time to spread that joy to others. You see, narcissists want to infect as many people with narcissism as possible. And they can't do that if there are a bunch of happy, energetic people in the world. They want to keep you feeling low about yourself. And in pain. And scared. Scared to stand up and to work hard and diligently for what is yours. And what is yours? The goals and dreams God has given to you. God didn't put you down here talentless. He put you on this earth with a job or jobs to do. And a drive to accomplish these goals. However, it's the goal of this narcissist and Satan to take this drive from you. So you give up and you stop trying. Not knowing that you are on the 5-yard line about ready to cross into the end zone and score a touchdown. You are not a loser. You are not a loser. Society wants you to think you are. But you're not. We see it in the new wave on how dating is nowadays. If you don't have a college degree, you are a loser, society says. If you don't make $1 million a year, you are a loser. And more people are feeling low about themselves as a result. Which is what Satan wants for this world. Because if people are thinking, why should I try? It doesn't matter. Satan can gain more ground in lives of people worldwide. But if people say, you know what? I failed. But I'm going to try again. Think about that person that is held captive somewhere. They want to escape. But it all seems impossible. Now either they work on a plan every day to escape and one day that dream might come true. Or they give up after a few attempts. You see, our lives are like this puzzle. With the important pieces hidden away. And that are very difficult to find. And it's up to us to work our best to find those missing pieces that God has put out there for us to find. God is always with us. Even when we are suffering. You see, I've often looked at the book of Job for understanding. And what I started to see is that since Satan took over this world with God's permission, we are now all subjected to many of the things that Job went through. To see if we will curse God and give up. Or if we stand right back up and keep right on going. And when we stand up, it angers Satan. He doesn't know what to do with himself when this happens. I bet a smile comes across God's face when we stand back up. But Satan gnashes his teeth when we hear about what Job and Joseph in the Bible had to go through. 2. That our God loved very much. We must ask ourselves what makes us any different or any better or any worse. We are blessed and highly favored. Yes. We sure are. And we are in no way, shape or form a loser. But we must stand up and keep moving forward. We must keep trying again. Can we alter and change up a few things looking for something else to try? Sure. You never know what door God will open for you. But you must keep trying. Please know. That person left you not because you were a loser. Maybe they said you didn't have enough money. Or you didn't have a nice enough car. Or you didn't come from the right family or the right part of town. But please know all of this bad discard treatment is actually coming from someone that doesn't love themselves and that views themselves as a loser. And they want you to wear their jacket of narcissism, pain and being a loser. So they can steal your jacket of love and care and the willingness to not give up. Narcissists marvel at you actually. There is a great scene in the movie Rocky. And other motivational speakers have spoke about this scene before. And this scene for me, I prefer how they show it at the beginning of Rocky 2. Why? Well, though it's the same scene as shown at the end of Rocky 1. The dramatic music is more dramatic, and more thicker and richer, if that makes sense. Even though it's the same scene from the end of Rocky 1. And in this it's the first fight from Rocky and Apollo Creed. And if you don't know the movie, Rocky is what many call a nobody. A nobody where nothing is really going well in his life at all. But two things happen in this movie. He ends up being given a chance to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. A fight no one expects him to win. That's why he's given this opportunity. As it's meant to be a show of so-called goodwill. Meaning, hey look, I gave this nobody a chance. And the other thing Rocky is given a chance at having is being with someone that loves him. Despite having no one that has loved him his entire life. Someone that doesn't mind he lives in a run-down apartment and he has very little money. This person sees the quality and good nature of Rocky. And how someone like that is starting to become more and more uncommon in a world of people using one another. But in this scene that is so important. The first fight with Apollo and Rocky is happening. And Rocky should have been knocked out on round 1 or 2 according to the experts. And a woman holds up the ring cards for each round. She holds up the card showing round 14. And when that happens, all I can think about is us. All of us in the narcissistic abuse community and everyone with a dream across the world. And this heavy and thick dramatic music is playing as Rocky is being beaten really badly by Apollo Creed. And one of the commentators says, "What is keeping him up? I don't know." Then they say, "He can't even bring his gloves up to protect himself." Then, he is knocked completely down. But he's not out. And as he's struggling to grab the ropes and stand back up. And while all of this is happening, Apollo Creed turns around and is waving to the crowd. Like, "See, I beat this loser." But then turns back around and Rocky was able to struggle to stand back on his feet. And Apollo drops his head in disbelief. As if to say, "What is with this guy? He just won't quit. He just won't stop." That ability to stand up is God being with us. That ability to stand back up isn't the quality of a loser. And I know many of you had to stand back up many times over. See, though this man was viewed as by a loser by society and by most people. The truth was he was courageous and stood back up to claim what God was giving him, not just in his sport of choice, but in life in general. Please know it drives the narcissist and Satan mad when you two are able to stand back up on your feet. And they will try again to knock you back down. But it goes back to life being like a puzzle. We must pray and look for those pieces that allow us to live a life free from the abuse we are going through. And so we can live the life God wants for us to live. And I will leave you with this short message. You are not a loser. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. and be good to yourself.